engine oiling problems that you pointed out, Jerry. Beautiful leap, 14.22 seconds. That's the quickest he's run all day long. But those engine problems definitely floating against that Ford. So yeah, that was a pretty darn wild landing there, too.
It sure was.
We go back to the super modifieds, the first round of the Camel Shootout, the 4 quickest super mods in the class. Top dog was Tom Etheridge, last year's runner-up, who ran 1.86 seconds in the last round. Takes on John Morris and the lightweight Harry Scarry.
Oh, this is going to be good. Watch them now as the light hits the green. They're going to be on their way.
What a ride problem for Harry Scarry. Etheridge takes down a couple of shutdown area cones, but that won't disqualify him. Our cameraman getting murdered with mud down there. I'll tell you, that was a pretty wild ride for the camera people.
Essence of the occupation. Let's take another look at this.
This is the angle that cameraman got off the starting line. The tire speed, incredible. Wham! Right to the lens. Unbelievable shot. It takes guts to man your post down there, Jerry.
That mud can hurt.
I'll tell you what, Etheridge at 2.55 seconds. Look at the front wheels. Never had front wheel drive on that run. That was a rear wheel drive run, only a hard bounce at the finish line. And Etheridge's machine, like I said, with only 2-wheel drive and even no front brake, tries to stop the machine down there in the top end. He lost a half a second because of it.
All right, next pair of machines coming up.
This will be the pit boss in the near lane. The machine that won here in 1989 and 1987 against Dave Taylor, the Tough Enough machine that qualified at 2:28, a career best for the 100-foot-long pit. But remember, Roy Scotty Kirby, the man who ran 2:09 in the first round.
All right, let's watch it now. Here we go. Yellow to green.
Wow! Unbelievable. Look at Kirby trying to stop that thing completely sideways. But remember, it's not the driver that gets there first that wins. It's the quickest at lap time. You can see the Tough Enough machine get the whole shot, but watch in the near lane is Kirby with the pit boss. Goes 2:32, airborne at the finish line, completely sideways trying to stop it. And in the other lane, the Tough Enough machine runs 2:34. That will bump out Etheridge, who we saw run 1:86 from the final round. These two will meet again in the final, Jerry.
All right, he locks it up, brings it to a halt, and here we go now into the final.
Tell you what, these guys have done some battle today. Already seen a world record. There you see David Taylor on the line, and here's defending champion and two-time winner Kirby on the line.
He's from Fontana, California, and here we go. Wait for that green.
Stage and the driver's up. They're ready.
Watch it now, watch it. Here we go.
Lost the tire spin to the Tough Enough machine. Look at Kirby thundering through the shutdown area. I'll tell you what, the Tough Enough entry getting the whole shot just about in every round. Look at this guy leave the line, but now watch the tire spin. There you see the mud coming up, and that means big-time problems. He may have actually had problems with the front-wheel drive there as well. Airborne at the finish line. The elapsed time, 2.93 seconds, but it was Kirby that dominated this event for the third year, Jerry.
All right, on the replay, let's take a look now at the pit boss, the winner, with a 2.34 seconds.
Tell you, the man cannot be beaten here at Anaheim, the third straight win. Well, so far, Jerry, we have seen some of the most upset-ridden monster truck racing we've seen so far in this Camel Series.
That's right, but coming up is the semis and the finals in the monster trucks, and they're still shooting for the Top Gun Bigfoot.
That's right. It's still the #1 truck. It's going to get wild as we continue with the semis and finals, as Jerry said, of this incredible monster truck war. Don't go away. Spain in the battle of the monster trucks here at Anaheim Stadium in Anaheim, California, as the U.S. Hopping Association's Camel-Blooded Monster Series continues. Jerry Devine, this is going to be wild. We've got Bigfoot left in this program and 3 relative unknowns trying to shoot him down.
That's right. He is the top gun, but on any given race day, even the underdog can shoot down that big guy.
I'll tell you what, this should be a war. With this much at stake in the Camel World Championship Series, the Bigfoot team's got to be feeling the pressure.
All right, here we go. It's going to be Bigfoot with Andy Brass, and he's going to be going against Dale Boucher and the AMPM Rocket.
We've seen Andy Brass run the quickest runs of the day, but here's the kid that just will not say die. Dale Boucher has shown guts. Tremendous launch for Andy Brass. Beautiful landing, a little bit sideways, and Boucher for the first time they've had problems.
Could be close. Andy Brass puts the pedal down.
And still cleared every one of those cars. Look at Boucher, almost a nosedive as he takes a wild dance. Andy Brass for the second time in a row clears every one of the cars to the finish line. Look at the starting line launch. Look at the elapsed time.
11.22.
Man, that's 2 seconds quicker than anybody has gone today. A sideways landing to boot. And then look at this landing here.
He completely clears the car, brings it down very hard, though.
That new racer is awesome. So Bigfoot goes to the final. Now, it's the young rookie, Rob Morris, the Fort Worth, Texas driver, the four-wheel Crazy Ford. And look who's back in the show. Alan Bezos, still with engine problems, got into the semis as the quickest loser from the previous round.
All right, here we go. Both machines on their way. Up, and over for Alan Bezos.
And indeed, the Rob Morris-driven Ford. The engine problems for Bezos. The Rob Morris-driven Ford looks like he's got it. But look at Alan Bezos. You got to give this kid credit. He has survived problem after problem after problem with a wild bout to come into a semi-final round finish. That kid has done a great job.
Four-wheel Crazy doing a great job with 13.42 seconds.
That's for sure. That's the quickest run he's made all day long. He's ready for Bigfoot in the final. That means it will be Bigfoot, the killer, against a kid with a brand-new truck and a brand-new ride at his first event ever. As Alan Bezos bounces off into the sunset, we look like we may have problems. There's Bob Chandler in the black hat, the owner of Bigfoot.
You notice he came down very hard on that left front wheel, and that's the area that they're looking at.
I tell you, Andy Brass, the driver in the uniform, saying, I can't make this run. Bob Chandler shaking his head and walking away. Obviously, the man who created Bigfoot is upset, and we've gotten word that they're bringing Dale Boucher in the AMPM Rocket Chevy back into this final round as the quickest loser from the semis. He'll take on the new rookie kid.
That's right. The brake rule is in effect, so that means that Dale Boucher gets back into the program because of Bigfoot braking.
What a disappointment for Bob Chandler. The machine was running 2 seconds quicker than its nearest opponent. Rob Morris now has to look at a possibility of a first-ever national event title. So does this kid. Neither one of these guys has ever won a U.S. Hoffman Association Camel National event.
Well, the crowd is on their feet. This is the final in the monster truck division, and this ought to be a good one.
Ford and Chevrolet, two rookies looking at their first bit of national fame.
Here we go. Dale Boucher up, and over, brings it down hard.
So does the Rob Morris-driven four-wheel Crazy, and this is going to be a battle. Look at this.
Around and around the last time, and it's the four-wheel Crazy.
Unbelievable. Look at the fist out the window. The crowd is stunned. In his first event ever with a brand-new truck, Rob Morris reaches the national limelight with a win at one of the biggest U.S. Hoffman Association Camel events in the country.
Oh, is he happy? He is thrilled to death on this one. Takes off his next race, and the crowd is going wild.
The crowd is behind him all the way.
Let's take a look at Rob Morris on his first jump. Great jump.
It's hard to believe that a brand-new driver and a brand-new truck could come away the winner at this event, but, Jerry, that's basically what we saw. Rob Morris with a brand-new vehicle out of Texas basically lived out a Cinderella fantasy here.
It certainly was, and it was a great afternoon. The fans are filing out of Anaheim Stadium, nearly hoarse from cheering on their favorite monster truck. But coming up now, the standings. How does that affect the national standings after this afternoon?
Well, the U.S. Hoffman Association Camel World Championship Series has already proven to be a dogfight even in the early going. But this weekend, we did see a few changes.
Well, Bigfoot holds on to the #1 spot.
Certainly not by much. Based on the performances earlier in the year by Excalibur and Chuck Hawkins, Rob Fuchs and First Blood, they're hanging on to 2nd and 2. But look where Rob Morris and the four-wheel Crazy moves into the field in the #4 standings in the $100,000 World Championship Tour.
That's right. Forrest will hold down the #6, Predator #7, and the AMPM Rocket and Boss with 9 and 10.
So even Alan Turo with Hercules moved up into the top 10 in this $100,000 World Championship chase. All those drivers doing a tremendous job moving up. And speaking of coming up, National Super Modified standings are next.